I think we're waiting for our men. We went in a pub, we had a couple of drinks.
Yeah.
What did she say to you?
She doesn't talk about that couple of things.
Oh, you don't, yeah.
It's on holiday, to Blackpool. Why?
Let's have coffee.
No, we're not. Dad's having coffee. I'm having tea.
What are you having here?
Help myself.
You've got an extra coke there. I thought she was going to take one away.
That's got mustard in it. Got some turkey on the inside.
Stupid. Can't see 'em. Oh yeah, that's me. Them two with cheese. That's 3 cheeses and cheese. I'll have the cheese, but I don't want this one on my plate now. Is this beef? That's it. That's it, cheese. Look at cheese and ham. Yeah. This one.
ever nice, isn't it? Would you like some more sandwiches here? I'll have one more. And some lettuce.
Do you want another one or not? Here.
I'll have one. You got a cheese there and that one.
That one as well? Here? No, I don't.
No, let Alan have it on Chris or you or... No, there's one more there for you, Chris. I've got a lot more tea in there.
Mark's fake, thanks for listening, thanks for dancing, see you later on. Please come and join us at the Change of Hearts.
Thank you, Mr. Mister. There's only about a mouthful in there.
I'll go right here. Try and get someone to take it. Is that behind us or that behind? We don't need to. Well, whatever. We don't need to because... What's his name?
You didn't know it was switched on, did you?
Yes.
No, if anybody said anything, you would say, oh, I didn't know it was switched on.
No, I said, I knew.
Because
doing? You're talking. What are you doing? And people know what you're doing.
This is a model of the Blackpool Tower. I can't get all that in, sorry.
Level 6 cookies. That's what she's in. Level 6 drinking.
We've just been in that place there, the Tower Ballroom. Lovely lunch we had in there. Beautiful sea. Nice to see you,
Hello. Not much music around this area.
See that boat over there?
If you could see it, I suppose you could see the Iron Man over that way area. There's a boat out there. Hello. Yeah. What is it? A boat?
So I can't keep it steady, but there it is.
It might be bigger than a boat, it's a ship. On the video, man. Not a bad one. Hey, we're talking about him.
I've tossed and turned till about 3:30 and then I must have dozed off. I dozed off. Our alarm didn't go off this morning. Shocked, horror.
Knobbly knees. Oh, knobbly knees. Knobbly knees. Oh my god, look at that one there.
I've got knobs.
That's got to be Dad's. Let's have a look at what's around here. There's a library. Another building. And the road. Liverpool Lime Street Station, where we got off the train.
The next stop is for the Radio City Tower. If you are visiting the tower, please ask our driver for times of buses at this point.
Burger King.
Oh God.
Oh, Nando's.
That's your favourite place, isn't it?
Braves of French soldiers who were captured during the Napoleonic Wars and imprisoned here. Some of them escaped or were released, and many of them chose to stay here and married locally. There is a plaque in the garden which is written in French and English and was erected by the French government. It reads, "To her sons who died in captivity in Liverpool in 1772 to 1803, and whose bodies lay here in the old cemetery of St John the Baptist, France forever grateful." Chariots of Fire, Sherlock Holmes, In the Name of the Father, and the recent American blockbuster Captain America. The distinctive architecture, great locations, and a wealth of skilled technicians have made Liverpool a very desirable alternative for filmmakers from all over the world. On our left now is Lime Street Station and is home to the Liverpool to Manchester Railway, the first successful passenger railway in the world. The line opened on the 15th of September 1830, and at the opening ceremony, the local MP, William Huskinson, misjudged the speed of an approaching train and was run over and killed, thus making him the first railway fatality in the world. During the 19th century, Lime Street was notorious as Liverpool's red light district, which was awash with sailors' bars. It's believed these bars were the haunt of some colourful ladies of the night, the most famous being Maggie May. She was immortalised with a folk song of that name. Others included the Battleship, the Dreadnought, Jumping Jenny and Cast Iron Kitty. They became famous with sailors throughout the world, and wouldn't you just love to know how these nicknames came about? Just ahead of us on your left is the Adelphi Hotel, which was built in 1826. It became one of the most famous hotels in the world. During the heady days of transatlantic travel, the rich and famous stayed here prior to boarding the great liners, which would transport them in the lap of luxury to America. No expense was spared, and the hotel's interior had to be at the height of fashion and ultimate luxury. Today the inside is as glorious as ever, and we have a stop here, so why not go inside and spoil yourself? You can have a cup of tea and sit back and sample the elegance of a bygone age, when only the very best would do. The building was never completed due to the outbreak of World War II. The present cathedral was designed by Frederick Gibbard, and work was started in 1962. The building was consecrated in 1967. The interior of the building is beautiful, with a wealth of stained glass which has vibrant colours across its floors and walls. As a matter of fact, it has more coloured glass than any other cathedral in Europe. The tower has 52 feet high pinnacles which are crossbraced to form the crown of Christ the King, which stands out on the Liverpool skyline. Our next stop will give you the opportunity to visit and decide for yourself whether Sir Frederick Gibbard's vision of an ultra-modern cathedral works for you. Look to your right and you will see the modern bell tower of the cathedral. It is a tall rectangular block supporting 4 bells of varying sizes. Each one is named after the apostles Matthew, Mark, Luke and John. They are also known in the city as John, Paul, George and Ringo. And if you look back as we pass through the junction, you will get an excellent view of the main entrance to the building.
The liver birds.
Philharmonic Orchestra. In the foyer there is a plaque which commemorates the band of the Titanic, who played on to lift the spirits of passengers as the great ship went down. Shortly on the right we have what looks like a pile of abandoned luggage. It was placed here in 1998 by the sculptor John Knight and represents the personal luggage of famous Liverpudlians, which includes Paul McCartney's guitar case. Just behind the suitcases, the large building with the stone pillars, is the Liverpool Institute of Performing Arts, now known as LIPA. It is also known as the institute where George Harrison and Paul McCartney went to school.
Sorry, got a picture of it.
The building was due to be demolished in the mid-1980s, but was rescued by Paul McCartney, and today is a fine school for those interested in a career in the theatre.
That's the other one.
Shortly on the right, you will see the magnificent Anglican Cathedral, the largest cathedral in the country. Liverpool is unique in that it's the only city with two working cathedrals, the Anglican Cathedral being the life work of Sir Giles Gilbert Scott. He was famous for his design of red telephone boxes and the Battersea Power Station. He worked on this construction right up to his death in 1960. Construction started in 1902 and was completed in 1978. At which time only St Peter's in Rome and the cathedrals of Milan and Seville claim to be larger than Liverpool. Everything about the building is huge, including its central bell tower, which is the third largest in the world, with the highest and heaviest spiel. Its towers soar to 331 feet, and it's remarkable that the building survived the bombing of 1941. It's said that a bomb bounced off the roof and exploded in a nearby street, which in itself is a very distinct case of divine intervention. Making our way towards Liverpool's Chinatown. It's the home of the oldest Chinese community in Europe. Chinese merchants came here during Liverpool's great trading days. Being shrewd businessmen, they set up here in the city, brokering trade between Liverpool and the Far East, and this created great wealth for their communities. There is a ceremonial arch which will shortly be coming up on our left. It's a relatively new landmark for Liverpool. It was imported from Shanghai in sections and was built by Chinese craftsmen here in the city. It's the largest in the Western world, at 15 metres high, and stands protecting and bringing good luck to the Chinese community. There are 200 dragons depicted on the wood and marble structure, which was completed by January 2000, in time for the Chinese Year of the Dragon. Liverpool has strong links with China and is in fact twinned with Shanghai.
Sorry, Dad. I hit you on the head.
By Sir Jacob Epstein, just above the main entrance to the old Lewis's store. Its official title is Liverpool's Resurgent, but it's known to Scousers as Dickie Lewis. I wonder why. It was a well-known meeting place and was immortalised in the 1962 anthemic song In My Liverpool Home. In Dock area, I'd like to tell you a little bit about Liverpool's fairly early beginnings. It was in 1207 that Liverpool was first proclaimed as a borough and a port, and it initially served as a dispatch point for troops sent to Ireland. Growth, however, was very slow, and its population was only about 500 in the 16th century, and Liverpool was not considered to be of any great importance. In the 18th century, trade from the West Indies was added to that of Ireland and Europe, and Liverpool began to grow, gaining the first wet dock in Britain in 1715. From then on, growth was very fast, with a population reaching 10,000 within 5 years of the opening of the dock. Much of this was due to the massive revenues coming in from the slave trade. The trade in human cargo was known as the Slave Triangle. There were three main journeys involved. The first part of the triangle was called the Outer Passage, when Europeans sailed to Africa and then brought native people from the local rulers in return for cheap manufactured goods. The slaves were then transported across the Atlantic in the second part of the triangle.
And this is the River Mersey. And like most places, a lot of locks with symbols of love. Loads. And this is the river. I love this sign down here. Danger, strong currents, no swimming. Honestly, would you want to swim in that anyway? I suppose there must be some idiots that would want to. Fancy a swim, Dad?
Not in there. Not exactly looking famous.
Oh, I can see somebody that might want to swim. The Liverpool Carter's Working Horse Use Monuments.
Fred, you taking me for a ride?
Hello. Great Western Railway. And there, over yonder behind Ian, is the Liver building. Fascinating.
Yeah.
Never. This is Ian getting ready to take his picture.
Wait,
Who?
it's not flashing.
Knock it over.
Flashing. Oh, it is.
Flashing, quick.
I've got 10 seconds.
Birdie coming on 4.
Put all fingers up.
Here come. Hello.
All fingers up.
Too
And
late.
you don't do it.
Oh, that's bad.
It's too late, wasn't it?
Is he going to do it
You
again?
want to put your fingers up.
Are you doing?
Oh.
Are you doing another one? No. Oh, right.
Did one in the beginning.
No, I didn't want to light up if you were.
Right, try that again, people.
Oh, no.
And he said he's not going to do another.
Ready? Fingers up, pointing to the music.
I can't see it.
Well, do you point up into the sky?
Is it flashing?
It's flashing. Move your arms.
Yeah, quick.
Ready.
Sugar Plum Prairie.
Ready? Point
Only
up.
one pointing.
They're all pointing.
Alan didn't.
He did one hand. He got his other hand on the way here.
Someone want to buy a camera because I can't be bothered to go and get it.
Go on, your camera, you get running.
£1.50.
Go on, run.
Like Millie.
I've got my bum falls down.
We can find a sunny spot.
I was walking around that lot. It was very cold in here.
What was that you were saying, Ian?
Wiggle your bum and chest enough to give your wife a treat. You wiggle your bum and chest enough until it's time to eat.
Bear in
You're
mind-
videoing me.
Yes, I am, and everyone can hear you. Yes.
Right.
Oh, look, it's a plum. Oh, Ian,
If not,
look
yeah,
at this.
I ain't got a Liverpool thing.
Oh, I can't do it.
He's got a plum.
Ow, I've got me
to do it
plum. I've got to do it again. Oh
do it
no,
again.
I've got to have me
Doesn't
plum.
matter.
Bye bye. Hello.
Gerard.
Yes, Ian. He's in America now. Oh, look. It says Liverpool on the Mediterranean.
Look, they're eating their food. Behind Chris.
And where are we sitting in this big building?
We don't know where to get these from. So we take one then back to the hotel.
Off half of it, and I thought they were going to
What was that you did? You dropped one back where?
It's a shame they haven't got that and a lid to cover it.
Keep it in the hand.
Yeah, well, she didn't know there was
Sit down and have a
ashtrays
flick.
here. Did she? And she put it on the floor and trod on it.
I did.
Are you filming?
Sorry?
Are you filming?
Yes.
Not a minute.
Go on, Ian.
I was getting bitten by my own equipment here.
Ian, tell me what he said about zooming.
Hello, if you're going to play about with it.
See, I thought you were an experienced photographer. You're not much better than me.
I kind of make Ian feel sick now watching this. It's
Take a
bad
picture
now.
of Ian's t-shirt. Show your t-shirt.
That's rough. Yes, they really are, these quests.
Good like this, isn't it?
You know. They are.
Please.
I'm going to get put away for 3 days.
Look what Dad's wearing.
I'm not wearing a something.
Lucky poo.
You know what's going to happen? We're then going to go on the tour and it's going to run out of battery power.
Yeah.
Because it's just mucking about with it.
Put it away.
And the camera.
And on that note, we are now at the Albert Docks along the sides of the Mersey River. It was here that I used to do this morning.
Yes, that's right.
inside London. Some 1,500 in total, covering many periods and styles. On our left is a beautiful building called Mercury Court. It's highly decorative and very distinctive in its design. Mercury Court occupies the site of a former Exchange Street station, the Liverpool terminus of the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway. The station opened in 1850, providing the city with rail links to Northern England and Scotland. The Exchange Hotel, whose neoclassical facade was retained in the construction of Mercury Court, was built in 1886. The station closed in April 1977, following the transfer of train services to the newly opened City Centre Underground Railway system. Work commenced on the construction of Mercury Court in December 1983, with the first tenants arriving in the autumn of '86. The building was officially opened by Her Royal Highness Princess Margaret on the 7th of November 1988. Which juts out into the road. This is our town hall. It was built in the 1750s. Its ground floor was originally intended as an exchange where deals were done for the many varied cargoes which entered and exited the port of Liverpool, which of course included human cargo. The slave trade was a great source of wealth to the Liverpool merchants. The city developed rapidly, and as a result Liverpool was the #1 slave trade port in Europe in the late 1740s.
This is coming up to the home of the Cabin Club. I'll just get myself across the road without getting myself killed. And here we are. Cabin, Liverpool. We're going to go and get us all. On the wall there are loads of names. As this thing up here says, Cabin Wall of Fame. These are people who have appeared in this club. There's a lot. Queen, the Kinks, Gene Vincent, Judas Priest. Loads of names on here. Some more than ones that wanted. Dixielanders. There's a lot. Yeah. And it goes on and on all the way up to the top there. Let's see if we can get some of those up the top there. There is Babe Ruth. Oh dear. Well, if you look at this video, Ian, you'll see him on here anyway. But I can get a picture of it. Hang on. Alright. This is a pub. The actual Cabin Club is here. This is the Cabin Club. take a little walk down the stairs and see what it's like. Here we see the animals in their natural habitat. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Giraffe? An elephant? I don't know. Might have been hyena, that one. Ah. That's more like it, Ian. Just leave.
No, thank you. I don't know what they are.
Munchies. Been a long day. Hello.
I'm going to go mute as well. I hate photo taking.
Right, that's done. Just come to do the rooms. Just a quick shifty around the room. Bed. It's like my one from last year. Wardrobe there. And just look in the bathroom. I do remember this. Last year mine was like this exactly. Yes, Dad. Wow. Right. Now I've done this, let's go and do Chris and Ian's. Bye.
Bye. Take your chocolate with you.
Oh yes, look, chocolate. Would you like some chocolate?
I've still got a load.
Okay. Right, let's turn this off now and go and see Chris and Ian. Now to get to Ian and Chris's, I've had to go down these few steps. And look at those here. Come over this way. Got these here. Go up here. And there was this door. Number 7.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, would you like to come in?
You just come to look at the room.
Would you like to see my flowers?
Oh, look at those. I should take a picture of those in a moment.
Yes.
Oh.
And Ian eating an apple.
Yeah. Oh, look.
And this is our bathroom if you'd like to have a nose
Oh, how
around.
posh.
There you go.
Very posh. Mind you, you've got to be a bit of a contortionist to get here. Oh, look, they've got a big shower. Does Ian find it a show to get in and out of that?
No, he seems okay.
No, I feel okay with my one. As well. Look, there's a mirror. Hello.
This is our tea and coffee tray and
Oh,
our
look.
fridge.
Oh, there's a little fridge there.
These are our non-wardrobes.
Oh, I say. Hmm.
And this is my wardrobe.
Oh, look. Oh, look. Hmm. Modern wardrobing. And look at this. Ah, look. Flowers. All the cards. And a little corner over there that you may be able to stand in if you're naughty.
That's the laundry room.
Oh, that's the laundry room, is it?
Yes.
Okay. We're back on the sea again.
If Ian gets out of the way,
There we go. I shall now.
Ian, could you get out of the way so that Alan could have a look at the Blackpool Tower?
Oh yeah, let's have a look at the Blackpool Tower. Right, we remove the curtain. There it is. That's the Blackpool Tower. Thank you. Right, we come out of Chris and Ian's room. We go up the stairs. Up to this. I mean, look, there's more there. Oh, how far does it go? Oh dear, it's a long way up. Anyway, we go through this door where it says 8, 9 and 10. And we come down this passageway and we come here to number 8. Of course, you might not be in there, of course. We'll come back later. And put it into my carry bag thing that I use. I didn't see no way you could get out and get to McDonald's. Not that I wanted McDonald's,
I
but
think you've got to come out and over there now.
yeah, that's what I
Because it's on
think.
the outskirts, isn't it?
Yeah, it mentions McDonald's on their thing on this in the,
Oh, right.
there, but
Yeah, we're going round that way.
You've got to sit still.
because you come all the way up here and there's a little gate up here.
Alright. Now I saw you all going off to the toilet.
Yeah, there's not much up that end. There's a food thing,
Yeah.
More like a cafeteria type thing.
And that's why.
These are just trams, these ones, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's a busy little road for a tram to go down, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah. And all that jazz.
I don't know where regular the trams are.
I don't know.
About 4.5,
I didn't realise it had 3 feet. You've not been in here before, not when you came on your own.
Hello,
Nothing happens till July, it seems, does it?
I'm filming. No, I'm filming.
Here's the chump.
3, 2, champion.
3-2.
Going up on the bridge.
one in the...
Oh, Ian, you've been telling tales again. How's it go?
350 pound on. Look, taking pictures of you filming her.
There's Madam taking her pictures.
There's the other madam taking pictures.
Where is she? Like some wild animal in search of her prey. In her case, taking a picture.
Beautiful thing. Wow. Dribbling. Someone got to clean the car.
No, I've got to clean mine on Sunday when I get home because I do poo all over it.
They're big what?
Poo, because it's been there a week. And the seagulls will be thinking, oh look, because every time I go out I take out wet things and my pockets off and they'll be saying, oh look, see how here, big pop, pop, pop. Because you're feeling
Take them up to the tomato.
Sorry, you don't you're in charge of it, so not you who do it.
Hello.
Well, I'm still going to go later on, but I'm not going to go now.
Where you got to go, Ian?
Nowhere. Filming the shop.
There's a bit of filming, sorry. Cars.
Did you want your coconut ice?
Not yet.
I was going to say, there's a Thornton's there.
Go, Dad. Dad.
Don't touch the bloody thing. You can't do it, Ian. It's too short. Just take the bloody picture.
You got me and Alan.
Just thought I'd start off by doing a quick tour of the room. All the rooms in here are like this, so I'll just do the one. Yes. Right, just do a quick tour of the room. There's a telly there. Going to the wardrobe. Not that I'm using the wardrobe, but there's plenty of room in there if I was. Extra pillows, all my equipment. Little view outside. I'll come back round here. Bed, lovely nice bed. Now the bathroom. Bathroom is through this door here. Up a wee step into the bathroom. You got the old mirror there, nice sink, and a very nice looking shower that I should be using in the morning at some point. I'm not sure I want to sit on that yet or not, see if it holds my weight. You never know. And that's it. All the rooms are roughly the same as this. So that concludes my tour. Goodbye.
Here we are in Chris and my room. And that's the view we've got. Yeah, very nice. It's raining. Where is she? She's walking around the back of me. And there she is. Could you give us a quick tour? Thank you. You're very kind. Nothing on telly, apart from a reflection of me. This is a very nice bathroom. One of the best bathrooms we've had. Toilet roll underneath there. Didn't know. We thought it was that little bit of toilet roll there. Walking. And there's the shower. Wow. Very nice. And there's the mirror. And you close the door and there you go.
Hello you two. You excited?
Very excited.
Are you excited?
Shocking.
You excited? Dad? Hello.
Dad's not
Okay.
excited.
No.
Dad's not excited at all.
Okay, we'll do some more when we get in there.
We do have an e-ticket with a barcode print tag. You're welcome to come straight across.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
Are you excited like me?
I'm excited like Sylvia.
Why are you doing a little jig?
Because if I do it won't stop.
Hello, Milan lovers. How are we doing? Let's play game. There you go.
I'm trying to get a picture of you, you're moving through.
And there you go. So you're going to scratch off the answers as you go through the day.
No, I've done it.
It's right way as well. There you go. Number one, folks. Let's play game as well.
I might as well keep it all together and then share it out.
Like a high five as well. Yeah, that was a good high five. I like high five, please. Hello, me lad lover. How are we doing, me lad? We'd like to play a game.
We like to play games.
There's two scratch cards.
Up to you.
There you're going to get a scratch up the answers as you go through the day. Don't worry. Everywhere will still be on the ship. You know what? How are we, lads? How are we doing? I'm good. How are you? Fantastic. Hello, where are you from? Oh, so you had a nice swim.
We got here.
Yay!
We've come all the way from Blackpool, Chester, here, far away with you.
Nice! I like Blackpool. So there you go, you start scratch up the answers as you go through the day.
Then you've got fish.
Yeah.
I'm big fish.
Yeah, that's good. Would you like one as well? There's two, or probably three. Anyone else would want one?
I'm a bit fast.
Yay! Would you like to play a game, Milan?
You see yourself?
Yeah? I'll go with that for now.
Yeah, go on.
England under Cromwell, but didn't gain popularity until the restoration of King Charles II, when it became popular both at court and with the wealthy. Samuel Pepys, the famous diarist, wrote of it the day after the coronation of Charles II.
Wait in the morning, with my head in a sad taking through last night's drink, which I am sorry for. So rose and went out with Mr. Creed to drink our morning draught, which he gave me chocolate to settle my stomach.
This is White's Chocolate House, the fashionable St. James's Street block. Chocolate houses were very fashionable in 18th century London, where the wealthy would meet to discuss politics, gamble, gossip, and of course, drink chocolate.
Okay, Newcastle's winning. Anyone further than Newcastle? Yes, they had to swim. So yes, here is your trophy. I'll put it on your head. You've got to balance that all day. You're doing good. Now, you got, how did you get from the Philippines? On a sail ship? On a plane? Oh, so you flew? Modern technology, it's very good. Did you fly to London?
Yeah.
Well, my friend, you're still in London. Any Londoners in the building tonight? Ah, my friend, welcome. You're still in London. You haven't travelled in this? No. Oh, selfie, sir, selfie. Right, 20 quid, sir. Now, you have to come on, everyone. Come on, round. Now, you see, this is London. Hands up if you've been to London before. You live there. Put your hands up. Put your hands up, yes. You've been to London? Yeah, you have. Good, and you have as well. Excellent. He lives there. Hands up if you've been to London in the 1700s. Yes, sir. Extra. Madam, do you know Peter Capaldi? David Tennant, they're Time Lords, you see, they take you back in time, yeah? Well, this is White Chocolate Caps, a club exclusively for rich men only. Sorry, ladies, you're not allowed in here. Boys only. But don't worry, ladies. If you're a woman in the 1700s, you could lots of things. Yes, you could. You could, well, you know, you could stay at home, look after the children, clean the house, look after the babies, but that's if you're poor. None of you are poor, you can all afford the ticket prices here. So you would have lots of money to pay for servants and nannies to do all those jobs for you. Good, isn't it? Yeah. So, you would then have lots of spare time to go to town, go to the theatre, go to the zoo, go shopping, oh my God, shopping. And, if you knew the right people, you would go to tea parties and eat cake. Yes. So, the choice is cake or babies? Babies or cake? So, hands up for cake. Most people, yes. Yeah, hands up for babies. One. Well, okay, throw up one person against everyone. Well, yes, cake always wins, I don't know why. Now, boys, in this club, you would read, you would recline, you would play games, all drinking a lovely glass of hot chocolate. Would any of you like some hot chocolate? Oh, you would? Excellent. Well, you better go to the shop and buy some then. I haven't got any. I'm poor. Well, I'm not poor. I'm an MP. I don't share. Now, another thing what rich members of the club, like myself, were doing here was to gamble all our money away on silly bets. Yeah. I once bet £2,000 against Mr. Webster here. Yes, nice chap. Bit stoic. I once bet £2,000 that my raindrop would be his raindrop down the window there. Yes, I did win. I had a man on the roof with a bucket. Now, you lot, turn around. Every now and then I fall apart, and I need you now. That's an old song. Because up there, Mr. John Cambridge is going to appear and tell you about his first shop here. Now, you cannot see this in 2015. I'm so sorry, madam. Please don't cry. You see, it's been taken over by KFC. Yes, they took it over. Very awful. Honestly, great chicken. Not the best chocolate. It's non-existent. They have to come forward, everyone.
Welcome to the Booksby. My name is John Campbell. And this is my shop, where I first established my business in 1824. My father, Richard Tanner Cadbury, owns and runs the drapery store next door. Our family are staunch Quakers, and we originally came from the West Country. Father moved the family to Birmingham from our home in Exeter in 1794 and set up his business as a linen draper and silk merchant. Birmingham was a fine place to live, with plenty of business opportunities. We soon made many friends, and my father became a prominent member of the local Quaker community. Because of our religious beliefs, Quakers were considered to be non-conformists. This prevented us from studying at university, and as a result, we were unable to enter the professions, such as medicine and law. Also, because Quakers are pacifists, we couldn't join the army or navy. And so trade and commerce were the only areas where Quakers could focus their ambitions and prosper. I was apprenticed as a tea merchant in Leeds, and then worked in a bonded tea house in London. When I returned to Birmingham in 1824, I borrowed some money from my father to go into business as a tea dealer and coffee roaster. I took over this shop and installed this large plate glass window, so that my customers could see the samples of tea, coffee, and cocoa nibs that I prepared myself. My colourful window displays soon attracted new customers from far and wide. I even employed a fully costumed Chinese man to help serve in the shop. Oh yes, he caused a lot of interest. And with him finding the shop, I started to experiment manufacturing my own cocoa and chocolate in the cellar behind the shop. You see, I noticed that fashionable people were drinking cocoa and chocolate, and decided to offer them to my customers as well. This was good for my business, because tea, coffee, cocoa and chocolate were considered as acceptable alternatives to alcohol, on which we, as Quakers, strongly disapprove.
No, I can't back him up on that. London Pride, too delicious.
Let me tell you some more about how my business grew and prospered from these very humble beginnings.
Right then, my friendly friend.
24. Trade tea and coffee.
I also sold cocoa nibs that I prepared myself, chocolate and coffee beans. These drinks were considered as wholesome alternatives to alcohol, which we as Quakers strongly disapproved. And so as my business began to prosper, I was able to attract fashionable customers to buy my goods and see the colourful displays in my shop window. In my spare time, I experimented with preparations of cocoa beans and chocolate, which I could sell in the shop. Soon I had to rent a warehouse in nearby Crooked Lane, where I could manufacture these products on a larger scale. At first, it was very difficult, because I had to pay high taxes on the cocoa beans. And then, on top of all that, I had to move out of Crooked Lane and into another factory, here, in Bridge Street. That's when my brother Benjamin joined me, and together we formed Cadbury Brothers. With more space, we could now prepare a cocoa powder and an eating chocolate that could be packed and sold. Soon after, my eldest son, Richard, joined the company. Having Richard with us made all the difference. He saw to it that the quality of our cocoa improved, introduced new products, and even opened a shop in London. Our efforts were rewarded when we received our first royal warrant from Queen Victoria. That was when my younger son, George, joined us.
George introduced many benefits for the workforce, such as half-day holidays, a sick club, and many improvements in the factory.
And Richard, your new designs for our packaging were a huge success.
Well, we had to try something different, just to get ourselves recognized, Father, as we were still a small company.
I remember it was a struggle, but with everyone's hard work, we managed to turn things around.
Our aim was to manufacture only the highest quality cocoa and chocolate.
I know, and I could tell you some stories of less scrupulous producers who added brick dust to their cocoa.
Ours was still gritty, but we only added sugar to take away the bitter taste and starch to absorb the fat. However, George had heard of a new kind of cocoa press. He went to Holland in 1866, saw the press being used and brought one back.
The Van Houten press.
Oh yes, Father. You see, because we could extract more of the cocoa butter, there was no need for more additives. Not only was our cocoa essence more palatable, but also output increased.
We became the only company in England that could produce such a pure cocoa essence.
We advertised and were praised in medical journals who approved the benefits of our product. Our cocoa essence sales increased and our eating chocolate became even more popular.
The Bridge Street factory was now too small to cope, and we had to expand somewhere else.
For some time, George and I had shared the same vision to build our new factory in a garden setting, away from the smoke and grime of the city.
If the country was a good place to live in, then why not to work there? We found a rural site surrounded by farmland that was just 4 miles south of the city. It was close to a canal and railway line.
We called our new factory Bourneville, after the Bourne stream that ran through the land.
Ville, after the fashion for naming anything in the French style.
We opened our new factory in 1879 and were faced with many more challenges as the size of our workforce increased.
I'm proud that you both had the courage to hold on to our beliefs and continue to treat your employees as though they were part of the family.
Well, you showed us that management could share the responsibility of running the factory by working hand in hand with the workforce.
The improvements that you made in the working conditions in the new factory and the benefits you offered your employees were way ahead of their time.
Times were changing, Father. Why should we allow our workers to live and work in appalling conditions just because that's what other employers do?
As the company prospered, we introduced bonuses, such as payment for output and punctuality, a 5.5-day week, pension schemes, works committees, training, and many other benefits.
What about recreation for our people?
We built swimming pools, gymnasiums, football and cricket pitches, and organised works outings.
And you'd started to develop Bourneville Village.
You see, our vision was to create a community around the factory, with decent homes and space to live, so that our employees could enjoy a fuller life.
As the company grew, and our sons joined the business to take over the day-to-day management, George was able to devote more time to developing Bourneville Village.
We bought more land and and built new houses, a hospital, schools, churches, and many other facilities, not just for our employees, but for the whole community.
As we approached the 20th century, we launched many new brands, including assortments and fancy chocolates.
I sent my son George to Switzerland to find out how chocolate was made, using fresh milk.
Soon after, Cadbury were able to manufacture chocolate at a much higher milk content that rivaled even the best Swiss products.
That was when we launched our most important new brand. We called it Cadbury's Dairy Milk. It became so popular with its distinctive taste that sales exceeded all our best expectations. And within a short while, it had become our best-selling chocolate.
We now use milk chocolate in a whole new range of products, from Easter eggs to the new selection we called Milk Tray.
In 1919, we merged with Fry, and the company went from strength to strength.
Through the 20s and 30s, we launched many new products, many of which are still favourites today. Our new glass-and-a-half logo was introduced, and we began using the Cadbury script in all our merchandising.
With the outbreak of war in 1939, chocolate production was drastically reduced and rationed, although we were able to maintain supplies to our armed forces.
Cadbury also contributed to the war effort in other ways.
After the war, the company was determined to start production of chocolate again and recover our position as market leaders.
When I look back to the time when I struggled to make cocoa and chocolate in my shop in Bull Street over 170 years ago, I could never have dreamt that the company would grow to its present size. But through the example, determination and leadership of my sons and their descendants, and with the hard work and loyalty of our workforce, they have secured the company's success and long-term future. And so we have seen that big things have their roots in the smallest beginnings.
He looks like on the water in silence, doesn't it? Now, if I can ask you all to stay seated and listen to the safety announcement.
People with medical conditions that could be aggravated by abrupt or sudden movement are strongly advised to sit in the back row or stand in the next theatre.
Indeed, so the seat.
I'm doing it.
Hello there, and welcome to this hot and sunny cocoa farm. Cocoa beans are grown all around the world in tropical countries near the equator, where there is plenty of sunshine and moisture to help them grow. Best cocoa beans are grown here in Ghana. Cocoa, or Theobroma cacao, is the most important ingredient in making Cadbury chocolate. It is the cocoa that gives chocolate its distinctive taste. Our story starts over there, where you can see a farmer and his team planting our young cocoa trees. Hello there! Did you know it's going to take another 5 years before those trees will grow to maturity and the ripe cocoa pods can be harvested? Look, there are some ripe cocoa pods. You can tell they are ripe by their golden yellow colour. Oh, come on, let's go and have a look. What on earth was that? Oh, here we are. A lovely, plump, ripe and golden cocoa pod. Once each pod has been plucked, it is cut open, so that all of the beans and sticky pulp can be scooped out to be fermented in a heap and then dried in the hot sun until they've turned a rich brown colour. There are up to 40 beans in each pod. This is known as the fermentation process and is how the distinctive chocolate flavour starts to develop. Once the beans are dried, they are tested for their quality before being loaded onto a cargo ship to be transported to England. They are then taken to our factory in Chirk for processing. Now, first, the beans must be sorted and physically cleaned to remove any stones, dust, scraps, and compost from aggravation. This is done using a scoop and by passing the beans through a vibrating seals. The raw cocoa beans are now pasteurized using very hot steam. This is is done in small batches using special enclosed containers that rotate so that all the beans are evenly passed through the steam. The clean cocoa beans are now taken to be roasted in revolving tubular gas-fired ovens. As each oven rotates, the cocoa beans are slowly and gently roasted as they tumble through a flow of hot air. This whole process is very carefully controlled, as roasting gives the beans their characteristic flavour and aroma. The beans are then cooled and are ready to have their shells removed through a process called winnowing. This is done by passing the group of beans over a series of vibrating trays and hitting them with breaker arms. The shell is then blown away and the remaining pieces of bean are called nibs. The nibs are now ground up in large mills. This process generates heat, which helps to transform the nibs into a thick, chocolate-coloured liquid called cocoa liquor, or mass. Cocoa liquor is the basis of all our chocolate and cocoa products. Some cocoa liquor is taken to our factory at Marlborough for further processing. The rest of the liquor is pressed to extract the cocoa butter. This is achieved using a special steamer in which the cocoa liquor is compressed under very high pressures so that the cocoa butter is squeezed out and filtered until it's in its purest form. The refined cocoa butter is now taken to Bourneville, where we will catch up with it later. Meanwhile, the cocoa liquor that has been taken to Marlborough is pumped into storage tanks, ready to be turned into chocolate crumb. Over 150 tons of sugar and 500,000 litres of fresh full cream milk are delivered to Marlborough every day to be used in this process. But first, the milk must be pasteurised and then evaporated to remove most of the water before sugar can be added to produce a sweetened condensed milk. The liquid milk and sugar solution is now heated again before the cocoa liquor from Chirk is added and thoroughly mixed to create a thick paste. The paste is then squeezed between steam-heated rollers under a huge vacuum, causing the paste to turn into a powder. The resulting crumb is scraped from the rollers, dried in a flow of hot air, and blown into storage silos. The crumb is now taken to Bourneville in tankers, where it is ground and mixed into a paste with this, the cocoa butter, which came from Chirk earlier. The paste is then refined into a flake before being conched or mixed to form a liquid chocolate. This liquid chocolate is used to make all our famous milk chocolate products.
Easter eggs.
Hello, why?
Do you find them interesting? We have the air. The air and like, yeah, shaking my shoulder a bit. Sit on there.
Have the second half of the egg placed on top.
I love Easter
All eggs now make their way to the follow rack. The egg is then served into the rack. Cadbury's cream eggs every year. Cadbury's cream eggs start life with liquid chocolate. The liquid is deposited into half-egg-shaped molds. The molds are shaken gently to get rid of any air. The molds pass under a second depositor, which adds a measured amount of white fondant, the egg white, into the mold. The molds then pass under a third depositor, which deposits a yellow fondant, the egg yolk, into half of the egg white. A special machine then snaps together the two halves of the egg to create a whole egg, rather like quickly closing a book. The eggs then go into a cooler for 45 minutes. The molds are separated and the whole eggs are placed on trays before being passed under a metal detector. The foil wrapping machines wrap each egg individually in distinctive foil before moving on to the automated packaging machine, which inserts a specific quantity into each of the cardboard outers before being wrapped in film and finished.
I was.
As long as you don't drink the sweet when you pop it.
Hope you enjoy the Cadbury magic.
Which one's which? I'll leave you to guess that one, you two. Well, it's going to get a bit dark in here, but look at those.
Goodbye, everybody. See you next time at the camera.
It's a nice tune, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Everyone's a good on that day.
I've done that one. I can't say, you can film this one.
favorite semblance, officially hot and delicious Bliss chocolate. Bliss roses, the sweetest way to say thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for being here with me. Thank you very much.
Jiggle those eyebrows like you've never jiggled them before.
Go through the bulb.
All it is basically. All this is basically is that cabin products will go across the screen, and all you've got to do is remember them. Do you think we can all do that? Yeah? Do you think we can all do that? Yeah? Okay, so for those that just come in, do you remember the products that are going across the screen? So triple bean with purple shoes, a Freddo, a purple teapot, triple bean with a pink cat, 30 bassets, a crunchy bar, a whisper bar, and 3 men. Do you think we can remember all of them? Be more confident, okay, just shout out whatever you can remember.
Cadbury's pre-mig. Whisper.
That's it.
The one with the pink hat on.
Bertie Bassett.
Bertie Bassett. Hey.
Lovely toy. All you're going to do is basically the same thing, but remember it in order from start to finish. Can we do that one? A bit more confidence. Can we do that one?
No.
Look at that. This is the first one that we say. We got the hair of bubbly, chocolate making chocolate bean. That's a raisin.
Fredo.
A purple lamp. A chocolate bean with a woolly hat.
The Invisible Man.
There we go. So in order go through that to finish. Chef bean. Right, everyone always remembers a raisin. Just after that. Before Fredo. Dairy milk. Fredo. Then the lamb. Then the one with the woolly hat. There you go, guys. Do that quick. They did that in 25 seconds. So now you're going to do basically the same thing, but remember in front order from the last one to the start one. A bit more difficult, and they'll be in a different order again. What do you think we can do that one?
No.
More confidence? Film it.
That'd be a good idea that you can go through
There
it.
we go. Guys, this is the next one that you say. So you got the perfect team parts. Dairy milk and caramel. Packaging buttons. That's a nut. Mission carrots. Chocolate bean with glasses. A roller. A working bean. And that's it. So that'll be the first one that you say. Let's go, just shout out whatever you can remember. Working bean. Robot. Oh, full nut. Full nut. And the chocolate bean. Do you remember what we're wearing?
Oh,
Glasses. Glasses in.
Next one. Oh, just before the nut.
Crunchy.
You saw him in the lift. There we go. Nut. The nut. Happy to give yourself a round of applause, guys.
Hey.
Glasses, I didn't remember any of them.
5 seconds. Now we're going to need 2 children volunteers. Okay. Can you say chocolate? Can you say chocolate? There we go, we're halfway there. Now what you got to do is go 2, 1, go! Both in 1 second, round of applause. Straight into the show now, guys. And from the back, this starts from guys to the far side. You can
Although tackle babies can speak in their common voice with their character, it quite often makes my blood hurt.
Squeaking on
I'm very, very talented woman, señorita. I am rather embarrassed to admit that my character voice range is limited to a simple...
At Woodcourt Hill, as it occurred a century ago. Back then, children grew up in these houses and played in these back gardens, just as their great-great-grandchildren do today. When George Cadbury founded Woodcourt, he wanted to improve the quality of life and health of the Woodcourt family. At the first gathering of village children to weigh and measure, it was found that they were taller, heavier, and generally healthier than those living in the inner city. Bourneville found this fine. This is the story of one family who has lived in Bourneville since its birth. Teresa was born in 1932 and lived on Griffin's Brook Lane. Her grandfather was a coachman for George Cadbury. Her grandmother, a little Nicholas. When she grew up, she worked for Cadbury, and her father was a bricklayer for the Bourneville Village Trust, so he helped build the village. Like all children in the village, Teresa attended the infant school, and then Bourneville Junior School, although this is not her school photo. Fifth from the right at the back is a 10-year-old boy who grew up to be her husband, Dennis. Just like Teresa, Dennis's family had also been living in Bourneville since its inception. His mother, seen here at the age of 3, grew up in Bourneville and would work at Cadbury until she met the man who would be Dennis's father, Jack. They got married at St. Francis Church in 1936 and then had 5 children, including himself. Dennis. Dennis and Teresa grew up in Bournemouth, not knowing each other until they met at the yachting club in Bournemouth when they were about 15. Eventually, they would be married at St. Thomas's Church. Of course, Dennis's parents were there to help celebrate nearly 30 years after their own at the same church. Children followed. Dennis and Teresa brought up their sons, David and Philip, to play in the gardens of Bournemouth, just as they had done, and their parents before. Eventually, David and Philip would grow up and start their own family. Dennis and Teresa couldn't be prouder. These grandchildren will be the 5th generation of one family to live and thrive in Bournemouth. Take a closer look at Woodbrook Road as it appears at Century. Back then, children grew up in these houses and played in these back gardens, just as their great-great-grandchildren do today. When George Cadbury founded Holiday, he wanted to improve the quality of life and health for the ordinary families, and he did. At the first gathering of village children to weigh and measure, it was found that they were taller, heavier, and generally healthier than those living in the inner city. In Bourneville, families thrived. This is the story of one family who has lived in Bourneville since its birth.
Supporting families was important to me. Married women could not work for us, as we did not want to take mothers away from their homes and children.
Times have changed, George, but there are still many challenges that families face, and we're still doing something to help. We support the Sweet Charity, which used to be the Confectioners Benevolent Fund. That support comes as cash donation from the Cadbury Foundation, and the time of volunteers who engage with former Cadbury workers and their handy care activities.
We tried to look after our employees. We felt it was important to begin at home with our work people, see to their comfort, health, and so far as we could, their general prosperity.
That was the right thing to do. It was morally right, and it helped to drive our financial success too.
We introduced many other benefits for our workers, including health and sports facilities at work, pensions, and sick leave. We always tried to run our business based on a clear set of values.
I think it's very clear that you cherish those values dearly. They're alive today. We turn our values into practical benefits for our people. For instance, in the UK, we started Fit for Life, a programme that gives our people the tools and information they need to improve their well-being. It's working, and we're really enjoying the process. George, I think you should be proud of what we're doing.
Sorry.
Have I ever told you before how extremely hard my brother and I struggled to survive in the early days of our life? Are things easier now?
Easier? No. Different? Definitely. The confection is now global. We're the largest player in the market right now, but there's lots of competition. And it's not just about chocolate, it's the whole range of treats too.
You might add one of our competitors is Fries, most famous for their chocolate. You know they were the first chocolate makers in England to produce milk chocolate. They used powdered milk for this, and when my son George created a chocolate using fresh milk in 1905, the quality of this Cadbury dairy milk as it became known was much superior. We took over Fries.
We still make it, and we still use fresh milk to get farmers right here in the UK. We stick to tradition, but we also innovate. We deliver quality ideas people love.
We ensured the highest quality of our ingredients and were so unique in this and so proud of this that we used its quality as a tool to market products. Cocoa Essence's slogan was absolutely pure, therefore the best.
Our customers expect quality from Cadbury. It's the heart of our advertising and everything we do. Look at our advert for Cadbury Dairy Milk. Logo matches the slogan. A glass and a half of full cream milk in every half pound. That's one of the most famous lines in advertising, and it's ours.
What other innovations have there been?
Well, there's Flake. That's been an amazing success since the day it was launched. People love the fold upon fold of our quality chocolate. And we've had lots of ideas since. In fact, we've never stopped innovating. It's what makes the market so competitive. Bourneville has become our centre of chocolate excellence. And we're using innovation to stay ahead of the competition. And it's working.
When we first started out, we had to induce shopkeepers to stock our milk and use careful advertising to induce the public to ask.
They're still asking for our products, George. And we're connecting with them using all means at our disposal. And that's much more. Print, TV, and radio is also internet too. We're innovative when it comes to our products and the way we communicate with our customers. Our creative marketing is admired the world over. That's something we're really proud of.
My brother created one. His chocolate box designs were very recent.
And we've kept up the tradition of good design. Not just to make the products more appealing, but also to address modern concerns about packaging. Using less of it, we're making it more environmentally friendly, but still communicating the essence of Cadbury's approach to quality.
The quality of our product was always very important. We ensured the highest quality of our ingredients.
The world knows that it was you and your family who pioneered the manufacture of the best quality products in the confectionery business, and at a time when others were submitting.
Not just the quality of the product was important. We also wanted to be sure that we did not compromise our personal or business ethics when trading with suppliers.
History shows that you didn't just that. For instance, when you discovered just how bad the conditions were for slaves on the island of Sao Tome, western coast of Africa, you couldn't just stop trading. But instead you lobbied other chocolate companies and governments to improve conditions.
When we first moved to Ghana, the quality of the beans was very low. Bourneville had never even risen a sample beans.
When you did engage with Ghana, you helped improve quality and productivity. That helped the Ghanaians, and to this day, Ghana produces high-quality beans. Through the Cocoa Partnership, we funded 17 agricultural experts to help farmers to continue to improve productivity.
We have not only worked with the individual farmers to improve their cocoa crop, and ensured we paid them a fair price for their crop, he felt the company had a further obligation to the people who supplied our vital ingredients. And so the company gave schools, scholarships, and agricultural training to the developing country.
Helping the communities with which we trade is still important. It's part of our mission. And right now we're running a program, Ghana from the Source, which sees our employees donating money to help remote communities get fresh water. We've done almost 1,000 wells so far. Farmers and their families don't carry water long distances anymore.
it only Ghana that we work with now?
No, we work with thousands of suppliers. Quality is vital to us, so we make sure that our sources are both ethical and sustainable. Where there are human rights or labour issues, we work hard to improve cooperation with people on the ground. It's as happened in the Victorian era, so it's part of our tradition.
My father, John, pioneered the use of a technique which dramatically cut down the pollution. Have we eliminated this?
Pollution has changed. The smokestacks of your age are gone, but the environment is still safe. We're determined to do our bit though. That's why we carefully manage our impact on the environment.
Is this just a new
It's a global afraid. The only way we can tackle it is by cutting waste, using resources more efficiently, and cutting emissions. All our sites around the world to do just that.
My day will lead the way in. This was the greatest challenge facing manufacturers at that time. It sounds like we were still Are we still leading the way?
We are. We're pioneering new ways of working and encouraging consumers across the world to have good ideas to make a difference. In Canada, for instance,